Welcome back to the channel, guys. This is VIN0820820. This is a 2016 3R1, which is Matador red mica. Don't see a lot of those come up for sale, with LA20 black interior, and it came up for sale, I believe, in Maryland at Carvana, and it was marked reserved within about 4 hours of listing, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it is sold. If you reserve it with Carvana, you have about 72 hours to pay for it. Otherwise, they release it and put it back for sale. This car has about 42,000 miles on it, and they're asking $56,000. So let's jump into it and see what we can find out about it. Production statistics: Matador red mica is a pretty rare color. Only 106 were made for the US 49, so not a whole lot of them over the entire 5 years out of the 2,348 cars. Of those, only 89 had LA20 black interior, which is basically most of them. There's a few of them that had the Stratus gray, the white interior, but majority of them were black interior. For 2016, there's only 73 out of the 1,418 cars, and of those, only 57 had LA20 black interior. Again, pretty common interior color for Matador red mica, but pretty rare overall. You're not going to see a whole lot of these, and Matador red mica, they don't come up for sale very often. Carfax, Epic VIN, and AutoCheck. Now I understand why this car's $56,000 with 42,000 miles. One owner, no accident for Carfax. Epic VIN, one owner, no accident. And AutoCheck, of course, is one owner, no accidents. So this car is a one owner, no accidents car. And so that's basically less than about 8% of these cars remain here in March of 2026 that are clean title, no accident, one owner cars. And so this is one of those. They're only one owner once, and those of course will disappear over time. It's a pretty desirable combo that a lot of people are looking at. And originally when this car was posted, the reason I waited to post this video is there were no photos. They were just using the stock photos. And now that the photos are up, I went ahead with this video, even though it's marked reserve. And so you'll see why here. Previous sales: February of 2016, it was for sale in Pennsylvania, $88,000, and it was sold in under a week. And it looks like it was done with a dealer trade as well to a buyer in Maryland, like between Baltimore and Philly. And now March of 2026 at Carvana, and I would assume it's in the same area. It's because it's marked reserve, it doesn't show me all the details that it originally did. 42,000 miles for $56,000. So now into the photos. And had I not seen the photos, I would have said, go for it. You know, I see no issues. When we get into the service history, you'll see that. But like clean title, no accident, one owner, you know, it is a New England car. So you just have to make sure that it's not rusty underneath, things like that, because it is in kind of the Salt Belt area. But to me, this car looks like it probably had a whole lot more miles than 42,000 miles. But I mean, I'm pretty sure that the mileage is correct. It just tells me that this car probably had a lot of short trips if it was somebody's daily driver. You know, living outside of Philadelphia, Baltimore, that area, I don't think they probably went into DC every day, because that's kind of a drive, and I don't know. I think that this car was just probably had lots of short trips, which is indicative of a lot of steering wheel wear, a lot of bolster wear, just kind of the touch points on this car. The driver's door panel handle where you pull the door shut, you know, kind of shows some wear there. Just, you know, it kind of tells me there's been a lot of short trips. That's kind of what it's pointing to me. As far as the interior goes, other than the touch points, the carbon fiber trim on the passenger side front dash is starting to delaminate just barely, and the other pieces look okay for the time being. But there's a lot of the stained silicone dressing that's on everything, and I don't know if that was Carvana's doing or the owner's doing, but it's something that it'll stain the plastics if it's left on, if it's not completely covered. So that looks like what's going on here. As far as the outside goes, the rear bumper has a pretty deep gash on it, and looks like it's been touch-up paint on top of it, but maybe a garage door got it or something like that, but something of note. The hood has some deeper scratches in it, and the lower front bumper parts, which is really common to see. There's some damage on the bottoms of those. It's the lowest point on these cars, especially if like driveways and curbs and things like that. So I'm not surprised to see that. Orange car, blue car, they both have a little bit of damage on those, that same area. The other thing I see, which is again very common, is the passenger side bumper front vent is pushed in. Lexus never came out with an updated part for that, and they all were, they didn't fit very well to begin with, and so you can just push them in very easily, and I'll show you a video right here on my orange car where it's affected. The blue car doesn't seem to have that problem, the orange car does, but again, it's the same part, it was never updated. So you can't just buy a new part and expect that problem to go away. Some other things that I notice, it's got Kelly, it looks like Kelly tires up front, which Kelly's not a bad brand. They're like $200 a tire instead of the Michelins that are $350 or $400 a tire, but it's got Kelly's up front that look pretty new, and it's got Michelin's out back. The Michelin's look like they've got some wear on them, so I would probably expect to be putting new rear tires on this fairly soon. The brakes look okay too. I don't see any excessive lip on them, so it's probably fairly recent brakes on this car too. Overall, it just looks like it was well used. It doesn't look like it was abused, but it has some wear. At the end of the day, it is 10 years old. To me, I've seen cars with in excess of 100,000 miles that have less cosmetic wear than this car does. So again, that's why it tells me that this car's probably had a lot of short trips, a lot of use that way. As far as the price goes, I would say it's a bit high considering the cosmetic condition. However, if they had not posted the photos, I'd say it's probably pretty fair for the mileage as long as everything checks out, which it obviously now we know it doesn't because it's got some cosmetic issues. I would expect this to probably be in the lower 50s. And usually the range for the average mileage 2016s, which I say average like 40 to 60,000 miles is kind of what a lot of them seem to come up for sale. That range is like $48,000 to $52,000. That's where the market has spoken, where basically these cars are. And likely that's where I would expect it to be priced elsewhere. Carvana is usually on the cheaper side when they post these, and I guess this one, because of the mileage, there's been a couple dealer wholesales lately that have driven the prices of these up, and I think that's what we're seeing here. An example would be very recently a 2018, and I've done a deep dive video on it, a 2018 with about 37,000, 40,000 miles on it. That sold at a dealer wholesale auction for $62,000. So you're gonna see that car probably for sale closer to 70,000. Now I think that's an instance where the dealer probably overpaid for it, but you are seeing more and more of that, and including the ones at the salvage title auctions or the salvage auctions. The demand is up, the supply is down, so therefore the price goes up. And that's what you're seeing in the market right now is things are high right now, and they may continue that way. I don't know, but what I'm seeing at auction, there is definitely no lack of interest in these cars. And so that's for now, it's going to keep the price high. And I think that's why Carvana has listed it as they did. Service history. Not only is this car well dealer serviced, it looks to be exclusively dealer serviced. So again, more green flags. That's what you want to see on a low mile, one owner, no accident car. So that checks out. The first entry of note is February of 2016, transport damage, and they noted damage to the driver trim, kind of the chrome trim that you see around the window. That was replaced. March of 2016, a dealer trade, so that confirms my suspicions that it was a dealer trade, even though it sold in under a week. June of 2018, the JLB recall was done. That's the high pressure fuel pumps. Most of these cars have that done. May of 2019, at 23,500 miles, 4 new tires, and they noted inner tire wear. What do we know about inner tire wear on these cars? Usually front lower control arm bushings will need replacement. Common issue on these cars, and that's probably something that was never addressed that you'll eventually have to address in the future. They also found an oil leak from one of the high pressure fuel pump O-ring gaskets. There's a little gasket where they sit on top of the valve cover. It looks probably when the JLB recall was done, it just wasn't seated right, so they fixed it there. January of 2020, the KLG customer service program was done. That is the GPS location reporting incorrectly, so that was updated and corrected. May of 2022, at 35,000 miles, front brakes and rotors. So that kind of jives with what we're seeing at 42,000 miles, where the brakes look pretty new, and so they are. However, the rears have not been replaced, so that is something of note there. September of 2024, 40,000 miles, the 45,000 mile service, and that was the last service. So basically, the last 2,000 miles, all they had to do is an oil change. But so what's not done? The carbon fiber trim is all original on the interior. So with that delamination that you're seeing on the front passenger side dash, that's not unexpected, but all of the 5 pieces that you would typically see that delaminate on this car, none of them appear to have been replaced, so they could all definitely still delaminate. Front lower control arm bushings. Saw the complaint about the inner tire wear. So front lower control arm bushings, I would probably look at replacing those, or definitely at least looking at the insides of the front tires. However, it looks like they just replaced the front tires, and that's probably why. So front lower control arm bushings. The ZLZ, the sticky delaminating deforming dash on this car. So this is the end of March of 2026. And the in-service date was the first day of March 2016, so that means it expired March 1st of 2026. So dash coverage is expired on this car. I would probably do the TVD service, the transmission service, and coolant, just because everything in this car is 10 years old. And so it's not necessary, but if it were me, my dollar, I would probably do that. I don't see where the low pressure fuel pump was reprogrammed either. That's a common issue that affected the 2016s, where you hear humming or buzzing in the back seat. So there isn't a fix for that. It is past the customer service program coverage for that. So now you would be on the hook for about an hour of labor at the dealer in order for them to reprogram that. Of course, the valley plate, that is the big thing. It is heat cycles and time. This car has probably had a lot of heat cycles. It doesn't have a lot of miles, but it's also got 10 years under its belt. So do a thorough mechanical inspection on this car, pre-purchase inspection, and have the valley plate inspected. Use a scope. You can do it yourself too if you just, if you're going to look at it at Carvana or something, but you need to inspect the valley plate on this. Would not be surprised at all if it's leaking. Basically, overall, it's just the usual things on this car. I don't see anything outstanding otherwise. It's got mismatched tires because they're new on the front, different brand on the rear, Michelin's on the rear, but probably expect to do rear tires. And in the next probably 10,000 miles, expect to do rear brakes as well. So there are a few things that you need to look at in the future, but if you're buying this car from Carvana for $56,000, your price out the door, at least what Carvana showed me, it's a little over $61,000. So to me, the price feels and sounds a little bit high. So that brings me to, would I buy this car? I think if it were a little bit cheaper, like closer to 50, which of course Carvana, you can't negotiate. So my answer would be no, I would not buy this, not at the current price, because you can't negotiate. If it was cheaper, and maybe if it sits for a while, Carvana will lower the price. So maybe it gets to that. But I would say it just needs minor cosmetic work. It would make a good driver because the interior touch points, everything, you can redo that, you can fix that, and then it's still a low mileage, clean title, no accidents car. But it needs some work on the rear bumper, needs some work on the front bumper, may need rear tires, may need rear brakes soon, valley plate, carbon fiber trim, all the touch points inside. So there's some things, you'd have to put some money into this if you want it absolutely perfect. But I think that it would be a good one to just jump in and go drive. However, I think that, again, the price is just a little bit high for me. So since you can't negotiate right now at the current price, I would pass on it. But that doesn't mean that if the price doesn't come down, then I wouldn't consider it. I would definitely consider it if the price were closer to $52,000. So that's what I've got for you guys. VIN 0820. Thanks again for watching. We'll see you soon.